Hello, hello. Good afternoon. JFK here, standing in for my good friend Oxford. Joining me on the panel today is my good friend Old Bear. This is match one of the 21-22 season. It is Rangers versus Livingston. How you doing, Old Bear?
I'm good, pal. I'm good. How's yourself?
I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. Just can't wait to the date. Looking forward to it. I was waiting in Santa coming last night. Couldn't get to sleep.
I was up all night sharpening up my studs. I'm ready to go, mate. I'm ready to take a few.
Have you heard the team yet, guys?
Go for it. Let's hear it.
Right. A few curveballs in here, guys, out there in the lobby. Hello to yourselves, guys and gals. Team is McLaughlin, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun, Bassey, Davis, Kamara, Aribo, Hadji, Kent, and Fashion Sakala. And the subs bench, McGregor, Lundstrom, Itten, Simpson, Patterson, Wright and Roof. What do you think of that team, Albert?
That's a left field job, I know. I mean, last night we were trying to pick a team. I don't think anybody came close to that team. It's unbelievable with the gaffer, isn't it? You can't second guess the man. You just cannot do it.
Yeah, I don't know where Rebo's came from. You know, he's not really participated much in the pre-season. You know, I know like a big Bassey's in for Barisic, and I was expecting it, but I wasn't expecting Balogun the other day. I thought maybe Big Hollander would have been playing there. And the McLaughlin one for me says that the gaffer's going to rotate his goalkeepers for different games. But look, it's still a strong team, Albert.
I mean, I picked a team last night with McLaughlin in it, so I'm not surprised at that because he really needs to be playing X amount of games this season. And McGregor needs to be less games this season. And don't get me wrong, I'm not getting at McGregor. McGregor's a fantastic keeper. And wasn't he for McGregor last year, man? Who knows what would have happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But McLaughlin deserves his chance, and we've got to think in the long term. You know what I mean? We've got games coming up rapidly. You know what I mean? And you're not wanting burn out of any player because we're going to need them all. We're just going to need them all for the season. So if we want to progress in every competition, which we do, you're definitely going to need the squad. And by the way, that's a good team today. I've no any complaints for that team at all. That's a good team today.
I 100% agree with you, mate. It's a good team. What was your take on Fashion Sakala? What you saw in the Real Madrid game? Were you impressed with what he showed?
I liked his enthusiasm. Oh, definitely. I mean, I liked his enthusiasm. I like what he took his goal as well. You know what I mean? And he's got a bit about him, but time will tell with him, Jimmy. I mean, one sparrow doesn't make a sailor, as they say, or one swallow. But I like what I've seen, and I think the boy's got something. If Gerrard's putting him in, he's seen him at training, and his crew's seen him at training, so he must have something, Jimmy. They must fancy him because Gerrard, he doesn't mess about. If you come and you're not up to speed, you'll not be in the team. It's as simple as that. So he must see something in him. I mean, the wee boys come in, and that's him overtook it already. So you're sitting saying to yourself, you must have something about yourself, son. You definitely must have something about you. So I'm looking forward to him, Jimmy, to watch him, be honest with you, for a full 90 minutes.
Yeah, in a competitive game. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying that Real Madrid, it was our reserve team, and that, but £170 million reserve team will do me. And I thought he shone for us the earn a bit of his own. So he'll do for me. Hadji, for me, the jury's still out, but he's wearing the jersey today, so we've got to support him. It just shows you the strength and depth of the pool we've got. You look at the players that I know there today, Katic and players like that who are still in recuperation, Ryan Jack, things like that. So, good team, mate. A really, really, really good team. So, I'm looking forward to a good performance today for the guys, and that we can maybe get a good result. I mean, I'm not going to sit in the fence. I'm going for maybe a good. That's Sam there. A good performance for the guys. You can maybe bang a few goals in. So I'm looking forward to that, mate. Definitely. So I know I've got a wee jingle. It can be played now, but I'll give you the number. It's 0141 356 1972. Give us a call and let us know what you're thinking about today's game.
Absolutely. Get calling, troops. We want to hear your view. We want to hear everything that you've got to say about the Rangers. Come on, call in.
Yeah.
Aye, so as you say, it's a good team. I quite like the team. You could have put anybody. You could have put another 11 in there. I would have liked that as well, because it's a really good squad. And as you say, the players that have not even made the bench. No, I mean, forget about the team. Not even made the bench. I mean, the players could actually walk into the first team as well. So all bodes well that we've got an abundance of talent now, which, honest to God, man, I thought I would never see in my lifetime again. Know what I mean? And it's fantastic to see they've built a good squad, a really good squad. Now they need to go out and deliver. They delivered last year, and they delivered well last year. So they need to go out and deliver. The trouble with this year, Jimmy, is I'm not looking for unbeaten runs and goal records and clean sheet records. I'm looking to win the league, win the cups, good running around Europe. So we start with that. I don't care how we do it. And like I said today, I'm not caring about performances. I don't care if we play brilliant. I don't care. Attitude, and win. Go to win.
The Invincibles thing was a distraction, I thought, a lot of the time. And I was like yourself, Albert. It's not something that bothered me. You know, I would have taken a Bridgeman every week and won 1-0. And really, I mean, we all like to be entertained in that. But for Rangers to walk away with the 3 points, that says we're happy bears with that. You're 100% right, mate. You know, to go through the game this season, last season with unbeaten in the league was absolutely fantastic. So it was a great achievement. But it's another season now. It's a 21-22 season. And let's go. I mean, let's get our own quadruple here. You know, and whatever we can do, and that would be a fantastic thing to do. But I'm like yourself, I mean, championship, it'd be great to win the treble, and it would be great to perform really well in the place that we belong, and that's the Champions League, and we'll take it for there. But number one game of the season out of 38 today against Livingston. I mean, going in past games against Livingston, Albert, how do you think? Do you think they'll set up the usual 5 and 4 of a bank?
Absolutely, mate. I mean, they've not got any choice. What you see with them, what stays on the tin, you're getting. No, I mean, it's just going to be the same old dribble for them to pack the defence and frustrate you and hope to hit in the break. The usual nonsense. We've been up against it that many times now, but I don't think there's any option, Jimmy, to be honest with you. I don't think they've got any variety in their squad. They've no money to bring people in for any significant for last year, so it's going to be the same. But I think the last season we beat them comfortable. All right, we struggled away in the Edmonton, but at Ibrox we took them apart. My memory serves me right. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, but I think we took them apart twice at Ibrox. Quite comfortable.
Yeah,
quite. And I'm looking for us to do the same this time. Know what I mean? I definitely think we'll do it. Don't get me wrong. I think we'll do it. But it's good to see that you've got a new player in the team and you've something different to look forward to. You know what I mean? You always like to see new players, don't you? It's just an exciting thing to see new players. But I'm no finished with the other players for last year. I still like seeing them as well.
Of course, I mean the players that were brought in, and the gaffer's been very shrewd in that. The players that they brought in, like at the tail end of last season, instead of bringing them in close season, he's bedded them in. You know, he's got them in and got to know the squad. And got them in as part of we'll call it the clique. You know, that there's a good hardcore of players there who want to play for each other. And I think that's what Fashion Sakala showed us against Real Madrid. And I'm looking for him to score a hat-trick today, mate. I'm going for 5-0 today. That's my prediction on the day. I think we'll hammer them, mate. But that team, that's a good team. You've got Wright and Roof to come off the bench, Itten, off Sakala tyres or whatever. So, yeah, it's a very, very good team. And it just shows you the pool of players we've got, the team we're putting out today, plus the subs, plus what we've got sitting in reserve in the stands, whether they're injured or suspended, shows you we've got a far better pool of players than we had last season. And Alfredo Morelos thing will come up again, but we'll take care of that when it happens, Albert.
Aye, we are Alfie. I mean, I don't know whether we're getting their knickers and their twist out of the man for if the offer comes in, it comes in. There's nothing you can do about that, know what I mean? But as I said last night, I mean, I don't think the wee man's had preferential treatment or anything like that. No, I mean, I think it's just the way things, the time and everything, way the things have worked out. No, I mean, he was in that tournament late in, as I said last night, and he's entitled to his holidays, as everybody is.
Exactly.
Then he's going to do his 10 days isolation. So. Yeah. There's nothing untowards what the wee man's done. Now, if he comes back out of there and he's grossly overweight, well, that's different, and that's a serious breach of professionalism. But I don't know that yet. I've not seen the wee man, so you can't pass comment on the wee guy. So if a big bid comes in, it's up to the club.
Can I just cut by you, old bear? I've got Wally coming in. How you doing, Wally?
Hi, Jimmy. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, pal.
I've hardly been on reading one thing and another. It's brilliant to hear you. I don't know if you know, we had a duel last night with Big DJ and wee Wally Henderson at the juniors in Cumnock, and it was absolutely brilliant. The two of them were fantastic.
Good stuff.
Really, really good. We were limited to what we had, obviously, because of this COVID nonsense. But it was still a brilliant, brilliant night, and everybody thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good stuff. Now, back to the football there in the day, Wally. What do you think the team? What's your thoughts?
It's quite interesting. It really is. And obviously, we are talking, just to get back to Morelos there, the only thing I think is a stumbling block possibly for this season is the fact that the Candyman is signed with Porto, and he was Morelos' best pal. That might be the only thing that would maybe sway Morelos to go to Porto. But obviously, we want him to stay for the Champions League. Yeah. And although that Sakala definitely looks like a player, you know, and the smile on his face, the fact that he's delighted to be at Ibrox. But as I say, Livingston, we should be able to take care of them. You know, I'm surprised that he is playing McLaughlin, although he never ever let us down. No. And obviously, he's great competition for McGregor, Jimmy, you know.
Yeah.
But we should be able to beat Livingston with any team we put out. Let's face it. And I'm still surprised that you're riffing button about Hadji. I told you right for the start. The boy's a player. He's got a left foot, he's got a right foot, he's got a fantastic football brain. And the same way that Steve Davis has. He can see moves that they don't even know about. And he's only a young boy. All right, he's not got any pace, but for Christ's sake,
I agree with you. I think there's a player in there, Wally, but
definitely,
he's not shown it yet. Anyway, we're going to cut across you. I've got a good friend, Andy for Leeds. How you doing, Andy? Hello, Andy. Click your mute button, Andy. JFK here, Rangers Radio. Where are you?
Civilization, Andy. Oh.
Hello.
Hello. It's only just started ringing. You're in a different time zone, Andy.
Oh, no. Aye. After Big Al to go to me, definitely.
All right, Andy, how you doing, pal?
No bad. That's a strange team, right enough, but it's strong enough to beat them, isn't it, really? You know, we get our act together. I think you like to try and put the game to bed quickly if we can. You know, set about them. There's stuff for them, but we should have enough there to break them down. Feel a wee bit sorry for hitting. I did say that. I thought he'd pick Sash, and you know, the guys, you would have thought he might have got a start there. You know, but you know, I'm good with Sash, and I think he looks very good. I think he'll be an handful for the defence, don't you?
Aye. You just cut across here. We've got another caller coming in there. It's Rudy. How you doing, Rudy?
How you doing, JFK? Albert?
I'm all right, pal.
How you doing, Paul?
Interesting wee line-up today, JFK. I was expecting to see Lindstrom in the midfield and McLaughlin. I would have thought maybe he'd have went with the team. I mean, McLaughlin's not in the European squad, is he, apparently? So maybe he's thinking, well, look, it's Livingston, but at Ibrox, you know, the guy's a good goalkeeper. You know, I think he had about, I don't know, was it 12, 13, 14 clean sheets last season, Jimmy, you know? So he's thought, well, look, he's a good backup to Griggsy, so let's chuck him in here, keep Griggsy for the European game, you know what I mean? But a wee bit surprised, to be honest.
So what did you think of Sakala's performance against
Jimmy, I was really excited about him, honestly. He's direct, he's got pace, he's got lightning pace, actually, you know. Yeah. He gave them a hard time, you know, and he's got really good feet as well, Jimmy, you know, and you saw by his goal, he knows how to get onto the ball, getting at that box, and he knows where the goal is. So, we've only seen that, that's all we've seen him so far, but for what I've seen so far, look, if he's going to do that in every game, that's good enough for me, Jimmy.
I saw a thing with Rudy this morning, and it was I don't know if it was four lads or whatever. It wasn't the tabloid rubbish that we don't buy, but seemingly Steven Gerrard had commented that allegedly that Fashion Sakala's no there to replace Alfie, he's there to play beside him. Do you think when Alfie comes back after his quarantine, do you think there's a chance he might play Fashion on the right way, Fred in the middle?
Well, I don't see why no, because apparently, from what I've read about the boy Jimmy, he's capable of playing right across the front three. So it's a possibility. I mean, I like the front three we started with at the weekend. You know, I think that front three with their pace, you know, with Scott Wright on the right hand side and Sakala playing in the middle, Kent on the left. I think they three with their pace would give any team in the Scottish League a defence a torrid time, mate, Jimmy, you know.
Aye.
But I mean, I like the sound of that as well. You know, if we could put Sakala on the right and Alfredo in his normal position, dropping deep, picking the ball up and all that kind of thing, I think they'd be a right handful, Jimmy, for Scottish defences. So I like the sound of that.
Aye. I mean, I know it's only the first game of the season, and I heard these guys on the radio through the week and last week. Now, is there any, looking at the squad that's out there today to play, and look at the guys that are sitting in the bench, injured, sitting in the stands, injured or suspended? Is there anybody that you see a name that you could say would enhance the squad? Not to replace anybody, just to enhance it.
Well, definitely getting Alfredo back. You know, I mean, he's still in quarantine, isn't he? You know, not sure how fit he is, Jimmy, but he should be fairly fit, I would imagine. I mean, he's been away with his country, hasn't he? You know, so he's having a wee bit of a holiday. He's come back. So Alfredo for definite. Lundstrom as well for me. I was saying to Ox during the week, Jimmy, Lundstrom looks like he's quick on his feet. He likes a tackle. He likes to get forward with the looks of things. And I'll tell you what, Jimmy, he's a big lad, so he won't be bullied. Midfield, you know?
I'm looking for a spoiler in the midfield, and hopefully he's the one that can do that.
I think you're right, Jimmy. I think he could do that. I think he'd probably do it better than most of the midfielders we're about to go, you know?
Yeah. What about you, Andy?
Ruth. I think Ruth's a very clever player. You know, he gets about there, comes in, he's good with both feet, and he's good in the air as well if you put him. So I think Ruth could really... If we could see a real 100% Ruth this season, I think that would take us on. I said to Shugs, though, that what you just said there, Sashin and Morales, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes with them two up top in games. I think he'll pick teams for games, to be honest with you. He's got riches of talents there, isn't he, really? So it's trying to pick the teams through the week. I think we ought to just give that up, find another subject, don't you? You can never second guess him.
Aye. But that's what I was saying to Terry and that before we come on air. Well, I'll read out the team that I wrote down before we came on there, and it's nothing. I mean, I was going for McGregor, Tavernier, Golson, Hollander, Barisic, Davis, Lundstrom, Kamara, Sakala, Itten and Kent. How far away is that team? You know, it just shows you. So,
but this is what if you think about it. There's another reason if you think about it with Gerrard. I mean, he's playing a smart game as well. If you think we're playing Malmo on Tuesday, you think he's going to shop his horn to them. So I think he's well alright. Right. He'll know that they'll be watching this game today to analyse us. Know what I mean? So he's not going to stick out his formation and give them a start. No, I mean, I'm going to hold Lundstrom and them back for this game. Don't find well that they're coming out on Tuesday night. So that you've got to think it that way as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's horses for courses, Jimmy. Andy's right. It's going to be horses for courses. He's going to use them on the day, you know. And looking at it, it should be good enough. There shouldn't be any problems.
I wouldn't think so. I agree with you. I mean, I think we can run out of tap with this team today, and that's not being overconfident. I just think the squad of players we've got this season is far superior to what we had last season. But I think teams like Livingston should be stamped out of the tap, and we should be able to beat them 3, 4 and 5-0. What about you, Willie?
Aye, definitely, Jimmy. As I say, because of the squad we've got and the choice he's got, and obviously he's stuck with that 4-3-3 formation for the last 2.5 years, and he's starting to realise now that, man, I mean, if you remember Warburton, we were beating teams 4-5, nothing and all that at Starley, but see the following season, all the managers get wise to Warburton. Remember?
Yep.
And all of us, and that's what good managers do. And whether we like it or no, obviously they're not the same class as Gerrard was as a player, and the way he's learning as a manager, especially with McAllister beside him, and of course that great Michael Beale. You know, he's schooling him, and he's going to be one of the best managers out, not just because he's a manager at Ibrox. I mean, I don't know if you heard that, Alan Brazil. He's practically hoping that Gerrard's only going to be there for one season, because that's all they can pray for. Because what I call him, he'll not be there by Christmas. He's out the window. He shouldn't even be there at all because he doesn't have any qualifications in our league.
Isn't he going to play against him on Tuesday, not talk about it? You know what I mean?
Aye, you've got to keep them guessing, George. You can't just make it easy for them to go.
You know what I mean? And Tuesday play completely an entirely different team. You know what I mean?
That definitely had a bearing on the selection of the day, I would imagine. Definitely.
And I think Mulligan was a surprise, man. McLaughlin. Do you know sometimes you know what's McLaughlin? He reminds me of Neuer. See his distribution with the feet. He can pass the ball. That reminds me of that Bayern Munich goalkeeper. He's actually meant to be a good midfielder, him or not?
I don't think I know.
There's no doubt about that, yes.
Look at his style in the park.
Keep the ball in. I usually get out, or else it goes to one of them.
George, I don't think that Neuer would get into your midfield, but I don't think he'd get in that.
Thought that, mate. It's going to cut in there, guys. Big Alfie down unders here. How you doing, Al?
How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm all right, pal. Nice to hear you.
Aye. I think that was the team I picked last night.
Was it, mate?
All right, mate.
Throughout the season. What was I going to say? I hope the manager knows what he's doing here.
Have you got reservations about the team, Al?
Well, we're getting presented with the trophy today. I would like to think the players that are taking the pitch will do the damage, but I'd rather hear some of the first team players than Bassett. We spoke about it last night. If Patterson could have played there, I would have liked Patterson to be on the park. CB Kelly's not even anywhere near the bench. Hitton scored goals. I know Fashion scored goals. I don't know. Well, look, I trust the manager. He knows better than me. But for the first game of the season, I would have liked to have seen our strongest team.
You think so with the bearing on the game on Tuesday, although?
It could do. Look, they're going to see our best team anyway. Whether it's today qualify, so I don't think we go into that game on Tuesday with reservations. We have to play our game. You know what I mean? Comfortable.
For my front three, Al. You know, and I'm thinking, I didn't have a Rebo anywhere near it at all.
No.
So I'm quite surprised at that myself, mate. But it's still a good team, to take care of Livingston. Look, we all know the way Livingston's going to pack it out. Right, it'll be the 5 and 4, low block. They're going to push us out to the wings and just try and eat up everything that comes in. So let's hope the boy Fashion can explore that, exploit it, and we can maybe get a few goals off him a day. But it's going to be typical, Al. It's going to be a typical lower table teams who are coming to Ibrox to maybe snatch a draw, snap playing.
Does anybody on the panel
aiming high?
Does anybody on the panel think that'll motivate the other team when the team lines come in?
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so, mate. I mean, you look at that team. That team's more than good enough to take the 3 points today. If you look at the bench, you've got Roof Wright and Lundstrom sitting on the bench as well.
I'm shocked that Lundstrom no playing.
If I'm Livingston, I'm coming out there, I'm looking at that bench as well and think, bloody hell, they've got Lundstrom and Wright and Roof and, guys like that sitting on the bench waiting to take them on. They'll be itching to get on them, and they get on, they want to make their mark as well. So that team should be
I think if we played Broxy Bear in goal, we'd take the piss, you know what I mean?
My surprise about Lundstrom's no playing is that I think it's his type of game. Against a team like Livingston, I think he'll be able to mix it up in there. He's got a bit no fear in him, and I think against a team like Livingston, who are basically hammer throwers, I think it's a type of game that Lundstrom would enjoy. But that's what I was really surprised when I saw Aribo in there and Lundstrom on the bench. So
Aribo doesn't have much luck against Livingston, does he?
No. He's a very, very surprising inclusion for me, Al. I never even had him in the equation. And Hadji as well. I didn't have Hadji. I know that Hadji's got his fan zone here, but I'd rather have seen hitting in the middle there with Fashion on the right and Kent on the left. But it is what it is. We've got a good pool of players, and
he's got to keep them all happy, Jimmy. This is another thing. You know what I mean? especially the likes of McLaughlin, because he is a good keeper. And obviously there's both for competition for Shagger, and it's worked.
Aye.
You look at the season that he had last season. If you remember, he had a knee problem, I think, at the start of the season, and that's how McLaughlin came in. And he never let us down. And the only goal he lost, remember, was at Easter Road.
Aye.
But we should have beat them that day, and we didn't. Remember, we got the draw. That was the first one, but it wasn't McLaughlin's fault. Again, it was the defence. It was like that goal we lost at Tranmere. And that boy, it was a cracking goal. We deserved to win the game, but the defence should have had that ball cleared long before he touched it.
Yeah.
And that's how Gerrard went up his nut.
I
You know
agree,
what I mean?
agree with that, aye. No, I agree with that 100%. You know, looking at, I mean, Balogun for me, you know, he's got another year. He gave a 1 year extension. Obviously, Barisic isn't ready. I know he made a wee appearance last week. I know was it Katic came on, Katic. So Katic is no available. He's like a new player for us. So and so will Ryan Jack when he comes back. So look, the Blue Noses will support the team no matter what the manager picks. But I've got to say, right away, as soon as the show started, I thought it was a kind of strange team. It was not a team that I ever thought that I would see the day, but it is what it is, and it's still a good team.
But how often has he done that though to you, Jimmy? You've picked a team and then you've saw the team the next day or whatever.
Oh, aye.
Curveball. He does it all the time.
All the time, mate. And it's not just a curveball, Rudy. I mean, I'm looking at the team that I would pick. It would have been on the day would be my strongest team, apart from not having the Alpha in the team. And I mean, for me, Balogun and Bassey and Aribo and probably Hadji wouldn't get a game.
No.
You know, so there you are. You're right. It's a big curveball he's thrown us. I mean, these players are all internationals in their own right. Obviously, Tavernier and Goldson, but I mean, the rest of them are all international players, and they should be able to go out there and do the business for us.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing about keeping all the players happy is you've noticed this season, this is the first game of the season, there's only 7 subs now. They've done away with the 11 subs. We had 11 subs last season because of the pandemic. It kind of pleased a lot of the players because it gave them all a chance of getting a kick of the ball, especially when there was 5 subs could be used. Yeah. Now we're back to the 7 subs, you can only use 3. So that, as Rudy says, it's a happy medium. I try to keep players happy in what they're doing. If they're not even in the pool, then there's no chance of them getting on the park, obviously.
Well, Big Al's just pointed out there, I know, Jimmy, that your boy Kelly, for instance, you know, he was superb against Real Madrid, I thought, you know, in Brighton, and yes, the boy not even on the bench. So how do you keep young players happy? This is something Al was talking about last night, trying to get the young players involved, you know. There's Kelly not even on the bench today, you know, so it's going to be hard for them.
I totally agree with you. You know, I don't know what the situation with Middleton is. I don't know if he's away to St Johnstone now. I don't know if that was we kept him for the free season. But I've always said, I said to your own before, I rate Middleton. I think if he went away a couple of seasons, come back, and I think he is that. I mean, don't forget, he's the only player on Rangers books now who's got a double cup medal. So whether it's St Johnstone or no, guys. So I totally agree with yourself and Al is saying, Rudy. I was surprised that even the boy Kelly wasn't on the bench. So we'll just need to see how that run's going forward. I dare say that we're on the bench, we're allowed 11 subs, but we're back to the 7 now.
Yeah, mate.
Yes.
Do you know I think Livingston would have bulldozed wee Kelly?
Well, look, if you're good enough, you're old enough, mate. No, I know what you're saying. You know, I mean, we can say that you can't play this boy because he's 18 and 19 and that. I mean, you're not going to tell me the fit was harder now when Derek Johnson played. You know, players like that. I mean, old enough to be able to say I was at the cup final when Big DJ banged that header and out-jumped McNeil. So I felt then football was a lot harder. The tackles were flying. I think players are protected a lot better.
Real football, mate.
Aye, it was real football, mate. No, but you're maybe right. Maybe the gaffers thought, I'm not going to include the boy Kelly because of that, because they are a bunch of hammer throwers. As I say, I would like to have seen Lundstrom on for the start. I'd have taken a Rebo out there and I'd have put Lundstrom in there for me. So
is that not how you send the young boys out on loan to play against hammer throwers to toughen them up?
correct.
Of course, aye.
Correct.
Man, that was what the old reserves was all about.
He's already had.
You know what I mean? Because they were playing against grown men and they learned quick. Why they done away with that reserve league? That's how we ended up playing the European teams, remember?
Yeah.
I just hope moving forward,
playing against football players.
I just hope moving forward, these young guys do not fall by the wayside. I thought the young guy, he's old enough, he looks competent enough. I don't have any fear of putting him in the middle of the park, playing him on the bench. I just hope Gerrard realises that and plays these young guys.
I think they know what they're doing. If you remember, when Gerrard came in at first, he played Middleton nearly every game and he scored for us in Europe. And then he just kind of fell away.
The ship sailed with Middleton.
Remember?
I agree with you. I think the ship has sailed with Middleton. As I said, I think so. I rated him when he shone at Ibrox a couple of seasons ago. And I thought he's going to be a player, but they lent him out and
we never kicked a ball for Hibs, certainly, Jim.
They never kicked a ball for Hibs, that's because he didn't.
That might be that bloody manager. You know what I mean? Maybe that manager just said, no, I'm not going to give you the opportunity. I'll give my own boys an opportunity. And that's what used to annoy me when we were bringing crap up for Liverpool. They were more interested in being Liverpool players than Rangers players.
Anyway, guys.
Never mind
the fact that Middleton didn't play kick a ball for Hibs is a plus in my eyes. I'll pat him in the back for that.
But you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Albert? It's nothing else. You see, you want players to play for a team. It's like Big Hitton. All right, he deserves a chance and blah, blah, blah. He was a Rangers man, great player, never done anything wrong. Gerrard bummed him up and bummed him up and bummed him up. But whether we like it or no, him and Greg Stewart, who came off the bench, scored 2 against Aberdeen. That's what you want to substitute today to change the game. But unfortunately for them, they were in the team at the wrong time because they never had the quality that we've got now. And it's just getting better and better and better. Right,
guys. Got to cut in here. That's just about right for time. So I'm going to go Rangers. Try and be brief. Wally, give your score.
3-0.
Andy for your Leeds.
4-0.
4-0. Rudy Bear.
3-0. Couple of goals for Sakala, hopefully.
George EK.
3-0, mate.
Big Al.
Oh, no prediction for me, but I'd like to see Sakala score a few.
Good man. And Albert, what do you think?
3-0, mate, for me, same as Rudy and Andy.
Right, guys, the time's went in again, so 15 minutes after the final whistle, we'll be back. I'd just like to thank everybody out in the lobby who was listening. I'd like to thank Albert for joining me here on the panel, Wally for calling in, Andy for Leeds, Rudy Bear, George for EK, Big Al, and enjoy the game, guys. Old school Blue.
Jimmy, could you message Big Stevie for me and tell me keep an eye on the post?
Stevie, if you're out there, you're probably at the game. I think a big man get a ticket. Keep an eye on the post, son.
Right. Cheers,
I'll give my wee phone later if you want.
All right, no worries, thanks.
Take it away, Old School Blue.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park.
Scotland's gallant few.
successful team in football. With Scotland's gallant few, who times they have been hard, will follow near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands at Ibrox.